Okay, so the plan for today, I have ordered quite a lot of pigments that I want to test out. These are from Kremer in Germany. I'm not sure if I will do all of the tests today, but I would really like to aim to do that. I know what I have to work with. So these are the pigments. We have Maya Root or Maya Red. I also have cadmium. Okay, so these are the first of my cobalt and cadmium colors. So my first cadmium, dark cadmium, so PR108. I find finding red is really hard. Then this is a new black that I wanted to try. Then I got another phthalo green, and this is the phthalo green yellow shade. So I'm just wanting to see how that will look. And then my first cobalt colors, I got dark green. Yeah, I know, doing a really good job of showing it off here. And then I got the cobalt turquoise light. My plan is to make like a 5mm swatch with them. What I like to do with colors is making them and of course swatching them right away because I have no impulse control, but then letting the colors set fully before I actually testing them out. So I've prepped everything, protecting it. I really should have something over my arms here. Mask is a must. Usually when I do like swatching out the colors or making samples, I use a pre-made binder. I usually use this one because it's easier, but this is the last one I have and I kind of needed to make proper paint, so I'm going to use this one. The reason why I tend not to use my own binder is because I know my own binder is drier than the pre-made by Schmink. If it cracks, I don't know if it's a really dry pigment or, but anyway. So I have that, I have my honey, all of the pigments. Also, full pans, magnets because I like to have those in now, and well, we need this one to grind it, but also a permanent marker to write on it so we know what kind of things it is. It's now been some time. The paints that we made before have had a chance to dry. The first we can take a look at is how different they have dried. I used the same amount of pigment and binder for all of them. And as you can see, we have some that are almost completely full. and some are like half full, some have cracked a lot, some are still quite soft, and that's just the nature of it. So I thought we could start by taking a look. So let's start with Carmine Red. Dipped, looks like this. Now this is on cellulose paper. So here I have two different types of paper. I just want to see how. When I started making paint and I was looking at different videos, one paint maker said she always wanted to test on the worst paper that she had, because if the paint looked good on that paper, she knew it was going to be a good paint. What I have here today, Daleroni Aquafine paper. It's the same, these two. Cellulose paper, real cheap. It's 300 GSM, but really cheap paper. Here I have Cadi handmade paper of cotton, and I just want to see how it looks on the different papers. Now, I like to have cold press rough paper. That's a personal preference. If you would use more hot press paper, I suggest you test on that. So here we can see it's very pigmented, very rich color, re-wets very easily. And here you can see right away there's a big difference in colors. Now, also to mention, the cotton paper has a more yellow or warm undertone, whereas the cellulose paper is more white or more neutral in undertone, which of course plays in. So that's how they're looking right now. Of course we want them to dry. It's going to dry quicker on the cotton paper. Right away we have some granulation, which comes out more on the cellulose paper than on the cotton paper. You definitely get more of a kind of lavender grey undertone on the cellulose paper, but we could very clearly see out here we have sort of like a purpley grey undertone. Doesn't come out quite as strong on the cotton paper. Let's see the next color. Let's keep with the red. We're going to see how the Maya Red performed. It was the first, well actually all of these pigments were the first time obviously, but I have not tried any Maya pigments before, so it was very exciting. Here's how it came out. What we can see from here is obviously it's a very dry pigment, and I think that if I were to make this as a color on its own with just this pigment, I would have to use a little bit more honey and maybe a little bit more glycerin, because it has dried so much. Let's see how easily it re-wet. Oh, first, take a look at how it looks just dipped. This looks like an amazing coral color. It makes me so happy seeing this color. We have some granulation. We have a lot of, I would say this is more like a mid-tone. We don't have that much of a dark or a rich tone as we did with the cadmium. You can see you get a very big value difference here. Not so much on these Maya Red, but I'm very interested to see how it re-wets because it is so dry. I'm just going to do the same. So yeah, this one obviously needs a little bit more, and I think with a different binder formulation we can fix that. But that is a beautiful vibrant pink coral color. That's pretty. Let's see how dark or how rich we can get the tone. Very transparent. So I think if I could fix the or alter the binder, we can get this very, very nice. Let's see how it looks on the cellulose paper. Go a little bit quicker now when I re-wet it a bit. And when I do my swatches, I don't re-wet my paints before because I want to see how they re-wet. I mean, this is a lovely color, and I don't have anything in my collection quite similar to this. So my note to myself on this one is definitely the binder. The pigment is amazing and I just love it. Next up, we're going to talk a little bit about the cobalt. Once again, a pigment I have not tried before, or a family of pigments I haven't tried before. This is Cobalt Turquoise Light, and I mean, look at this. It is so vibrant, so rich in color. We have a really nice, you can see, it can get quite dark. And remember, this is just dipped into the watered down color. So you can get a really good value shift. It's granulating, looks quite opaque. So let's try out how it looks. It's very, very shiny, but it is dry. It's still a little bit soft, but it's not sticky. No problem re-wetting. It's very, very quick to re-wet, but I can say it's quite opaque. I can also tell that by dipping my brush into the water, I get blue right away there. But that is a lovely, beautiful color. Let's see how it looks on the cheaper paper. The next color, I think we should go with the other cobalt color that I made, and it is a very different, if you can see, like the cobalt turquoise light, a lot of color, and this one looks a little bit meek almost. Looks really just like a dark green. That one is this one, and very much the same as the turquoise. It's still a bit soft, but it has settled. And it's not sticky, but I can make an imprint with my finger in the pan. So versus the Maya color, using the same binder, where I think I will need to add more honey and glycerin to get this a little bit more supple, I can be quite, can reel it in with the glycerin and the honey on this one, because I don't need as much to get this. Here I would prioritize to get it a little bit drier, so it would be safer to ship. So let's see how easily it re-wets. Yes, so it re-wets quite easily, but the pigment payoff is not as strong right away as the turquoise one. Let's see how dark we can get, or maybe it's just that it needs a little bit of time to re-wet. Yes, there we go. That looks amazing. And here we can see on the cellulose paper, once the paint is more ready. It is an opaque color, I would say. It does granulates quite a lot, even on the cotton paper. This cotton paper, you don't get quite as much granulation as you get on the cellulose paper. If we compare it to like the cadmium, we have a lot of granulation going on here, not so much here. Some granulation on the Maya red, not so much here. We have some granulation going on the turquoise, but we have more here. But on the dark green cobalt, we have a lot of granulation on both sides. But I really, really like this one. That is not a shock to anybody, because I love greens and I love granulating colors. So the other green is a phthalo green, and it's quite an obnoxious shade of green. So just to compare, we have the yellow shade of green, and here is the blue shade of phthalo green. So there is a difference that you can tell just from looking at the pigments. So this one is not as worked as it should be. So it's not actually a granulating color. It's that I did not do my proper work because I was so tired by the time I came to this color. Re-wets very, very quickly, and you get a really strong payoff. Very transparent, highly staining as phthalo colors are. I don't think I would paint like a forest in this color because it would not look right, but sometimes we have colors to represent real life, and sometimes we have colors to help us mix other colors. I think this one I would mix with something else to make some really fun, unique green shades instead of using it just as it is, but you never know. The last color is not as fun because we have this one, which is peach black. Now, peach black is made from peach pit kernels, the inside of the peach, when you have eaten it. It's a black one. Now, black comes from many different varieties. You can make them in many different ways. And I've tried to find a really good black. In my collection right now, I have one black that is iron black or iron oxide black. It's very, very granulating. which is really fun. But if you want just a black that is not granulating, I don't feel like I have found the right pigment for it. So that's why I got this one, to see how it is. Now, it looks very grey. Just like, that's my first impression when I look back at the swatch I did when I made it. So let's see how it looks now when it's when we take it from the from the dried pan. Hey Albert, going to be here and help? Don't lick my elbow. I know, it's very nice of you, but I don't really appreciate it. Okay, so re-wets very easily and you get really black. I'm really interested to see how it looks when it dries. Now, you typically get a bigger shift. You cannot burp when we are recording. Now, yes, you typically get a bigger shift, color shift, on cotton paper than on cellulose paper when you're drying. So I'm interested to see like how black this one remains, because right now I'm really happy with it. I feel like I can get like super black with it, and that's what I want. So let's see. Yes, but we're talking about peach black. Yes. Let's try it on the cellulose. Don't scratch my arm, please. Okay, let's try. So, no. And here you can see how black it is. And I really like it has a very cold undertone. I prefer that. So it's very exciting. Now, I'm not going to go ahead of myself because I've done that before, but I just really want to get like a really nice solid black. We'll see how much this shift is once it has dried. So we'll come back in a few minutes once everything has dried. Now, it's been about an hour that I've let it dry, and apart from the random pieces of Christmas glitter that is ending up everywhere, I don't know why. I mean, I do know why, because, you know, but anyway, I'm actually really happy with the black. The black is the one I was most insecure about, to see like how black it would be, but considering everything, that it is peach black, it's not granulating, this is one layer. Obviously black you can build up over and over again, and also that it has that a little bit more, looking at it now, I wouldn't say it has a cold undertone. I would say it's more neutral, but it's not brown. So I'm actually really happy with it, and my plan is to go forward and make this into like a standalone color, just to have that black. I'm also thinking this will be mixed in with other colors I make in the future when I want to add in that blackness. So that's a clear yes for me, so that's good. As for the others, I'm still not sure about the cobalt. I love them. I think they're so amazing color. I mean, can we just take a look at like the granulation on these? Like, it's just amazing. I'm not quite sure just yet if I want to make a standalone color of them, given the nature of them, but if I want to in the future, I have a really good reference for them, even if I want to have them standalone just as a single pigment, or if I want to mix them with something else. The Maya Red, I love this color. I think it's so unique. I wish it had a little bit more mass tone, a little bit more heft to it, but it is beautiful. I think I will continue on experimenting a little bit more with the binder and see if I can get some, like, see if I can change it a little bit. For the Cadmium Red, I really like it. I'm still on the hunt for like a really good red, fairly inexpensive pigment, which is sort of like, yeah, you can't ask for that, you know. I think the best red that I have is Harry, which is a mix of a magenta and a yellow, and I love that. But I really would like to have like a really nice transparent red, like a real red. It is just really hard to find. I'm not a big fan of the heavy metal pigments like cadmium or cobalt, but you know, you can only get what's out on the market, because I'm not a scientist that can create pigments myself. Like I said, now I know what I have to work with, and I might use it standalone, or I might mix it in with something else. Here is what I've come up with. Also, of course, the green shade of phthalo green. Now I know what I have to work with. I hope you have enjoyed coming along, seeing how I do this process. Usually it's not as structured, because I usually do it late at night with no light. And then just trying it on whenever I have some time. So it was really nice for me to actually sit down and think about the process I'm going through and talking about it out loud. So it was really fun for me too. I hope you have enjoyed it. Link down below is a link to the shop if you want to see what colors I have available right now. Some more colors are coming out in January. And until then, I hope you have a really great day.